Welcome back everyone to another episode of No Man's Land on AF Farms. So it's April and it's raining, as you can see. So as you may be aware from our last video, we've decided to turn seasonal growth on. So in the first video of that, we planted some oats up in the back corner there and the far left field. We then slept till March. Slept through March and April, and now we can plant sorghum and soybeans. So we've got a patch of sorghum on the left and a patch of soybeans on the right just here. And then we've got our three other fields over there ready to receive wheat, barley and canola in a few months time. So we're just finishing up the seeding for today. What is this guy doing? So I have been having a few issues with the fields and the road network that I've put in. So I think I've got to pay more attention to the direction that I'm going to be planting and harvesting, because I am noticing these guys are getting stuck. So I think in some areas I'm going to have to double the width of the headland just to facilitate smooth operation, turning around, etc. Because this field was run left to right and it wasn't a problem, but now that I'm going the other direction, I'm getting stuck on objects, hills, many things that I wasn't getting stuck on before, so it's getting a little bit annoying. So I'm going to have to come up with a plan on how to solve that. And it's looking like doubling the width of the roads is probably going to be the roads in the headland. And what I mean by headlands is basically this area here. So this width here needs to be effectively double what it actually is. So you can see where I've seeded before, it's actually missed quite a bit, and that's because the machine wasn't able to turn around correctly 100%. So you can see here the headland is quite a bit wider, and I haven't had any issue there. So the other thing you may have noticed is we've turned off precision farming. So basically my thought process there was the precision farming menu was getting very cluttered. The soil maps are out of date. The field score was basically too hard to manage because every field was they weren't independently scored, so it was hard to keep track of what was happening. So I've just gone back to base game settings, except for ploughing. So I've turned off ploughing and I've turned off fieldstone, but I've got weeds turned on, I've got lime turned on, and I've got fertilizer and weeds turned on. So hopefully we can sort of get a bit more of an authentic experience, and obviously we can keep track of our yield, our metrics. So obviously we need rolling and weeding over here, and that's sort of part of the seasonal growth cycle as well. So another thing that we are going to do is we are going to sell the John Deere RT. So I've just repaired it. I've given it a new coat of paint to get maximum dollar value. The reason why I'm selling it is because this was getting stuck on some sections of the map. It's a cool tractor, but time to go. So let us sell that. So a good little cash injection there is always good. And we can move on. So basically that's all the fields are planted, it looks like. Obviously you need a bit of lime up there, but we'll get that the next harvest. And you can see what I'm talking about here with the double the double width roadway. So my seed has actually gone through and overlapped and gone into the soybean field a little bit. So a little bit annoying, but not the end of the world. So that's part of the reason why I'm looking at increasing the size of those headlands to help combat that. Because they really need double the distance to turn around, because the way they turn around in game, which is not going to be the end of the world, might actually be a little bit more helpful for me, because then I can reduce the farm size a little bit more, so we're not having to farm such a huge area, which has also been a bit of an issue. So we can see our oats up the back there, over to the left, and then we've got sorghum just here and soybeans just there. Alright, check our crop calendar. So we've got our oats in. Oh yeah, we can get canola in too. We haven't done canola, so let's get that underway. So we are in April. So we've got soybeans, we've got sorghum, we need to get canola. So I've obviously missed canola, which is a bit unfortunate. So this is actually the last month to be able to do this. So lucky I noticed. So I'm just going to quickly repair all this stuff. So those seed carts haven't been repaired for a long time. Where's the canola? Not on there. So I think we're just going to do canola in maybe this field here. Excuse me. Another project on the go is just sort of terraforming the fields, smoothing them out, getting rid of all those really jagged bumps, because there's still quite a few areas where that's an issue. Get this lined up correctly. Wrong season for this work. Hey? Yeah, planting season. Oh, hang on, no, I'm looking at oats. No, so we can't plant canola, so we can plant oats, which we've done. We've planted soybeans, we've planted sorghum. Alright, well that's fine. It's just that little Gantt chart that they've got is a bit tricky because the harvesting and the planting don't overlay correctly. So what we're going to do, because we've got nothing else to do, we're just going to sleep for one day. Hopefully we've got some sunshine. So we should be coming into spring, I believe. So this is obviously Northern Hemisphere seasons. So April. Oh no, we're coming out of winter, so this would be autumn. So we can see here that we've got some sorghum, we've got our soybeans. And we've got to, so what have we got to do? We've probably got to spray some weeds there actually. So let's have a look at the growth status. So our oats are nearly ready to harvest. So oats will be harvested in July. So that's coming into summer. If we had barley ready to go, we would be getting onto that, but obviously we don't have that at the moment. So let's have a look at the and we do need to get another state of fertilizer down as well. So I think what we might do, so if I turn off fertilize, turn off lime, so we've got 2 states of weeds there. Okay, so first things first, we'll take care of those weeds and we will also spray for fertilizer. So what we are going to use for that, let's just check our Fendt Vario MT. So obviously I just had the John Deere version of this. Very nice tractor, and the price is good. But I think I'm just going to stick to the quad tracks for now. But we will purchase the sprayer, so let's have a look. So we've got the Berthoud, which will do 36 meters, or we've got the Rubicon, which will do 48.5 meters. So I think we're going to buy 2 of these. So I'll stick with the Trollborgs. So here we go. How to spend $1 million. We're just about. So 978,000 in new vehicles. We're going to fill 1 with fertilizer, 1 with herbicide, and send them on their way. So this is them here. Pretty cool piece of machinery. I mean, very cool. Okay, let's so it's got 2 steering modes as well. I should be able to fill it up from this section here, hopefully. So herbicide. So I don't need to fill this all the way because I have the helper buy feature turned on. So that's just an in-game setting. Right, so let's unfold this bad boy. And I reckon what we'll do is we'll send it across this way, just to make sure we don't run into anything. So you'll see how quickly this is able to knock over this area. So we'll just get him lined up. And away we go. So you can see the weeds are greyed out there. So they're the dead weeds. Now we're getting our yield bonus back up, and we go over to a section of field where we haven't sprayed. So we've got a bit of a increase there. So this field will also need fertilizer. So what we'll do is configure this one for fertilizer, and then we'll go and hit the main fields. So hit the fields where we've got the oats and stuff. So the beauty of this machine is it'll do herbicide and liquid fert. Now I shouldn't have any issues turning this around, but we will soon see. Look at that boom arm, pretty cool. Okay, so I don't mind if I'm overlapping slightly here. So there we go, we've got our yield bonus. So this field's actually also got so that's going to get our second state of fertiliser down. Look, I think we might get another one of these Rubicons actually. Because they're so effective at covering such a large area quickly, which is what we're after. They just look really cool to boot. So I'm going to configure this guy for fertilizer also. And I'm going to get him underway. Over on our far oat field. Yeah, so you can see how much room they need to turn around. Look how much we've got there. So this should just need fertilizing. Yep. So it's got one fertilizer state. Just needs the second. And then that'll give us close to 100% yield bonus. So let's just quickly check that we're nicely lined up here. There we go. So there we go, 100% fertilizer. So we're missing 5%. That's because we haven't mulched and we haven't done the what's the other thing? So are there any weeds here? Nope, no weeds. Cool. Alright, so we're in May. So is there anything else we can plant? So we can plant corn. We haven't got a planter. Can't do any of these other ones. So let's turn the weeds back on. Oh, part of me thinks that we should get another sprayer happening. Just to speed things up. Yeah, let's do it. So we are spending a bit of money here, but long-term investment. Hopefully we don't get one come up in the sales, because that would be a bit annoying. So we'll go liquid for this one as well. So I think this will give us 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we run 2 herbicide, 2 fertilizer. And I mean, these are interchangeable, so it doesn't really matter too much. So I'm going to send this guy all the way down the back of the farm to get our fertilizer underway. Doesn't that look cool? Looks like a proper farm, doesn't it? Yeah, he's off over that way. So the thing I'm liking about Seasons so far is it's just breaking up the jobs a little bit more, adding a bit more depth to the gameplay. So obviously we've got different jobs to do, different months. I'm also thinking about, you know, what else we can plant. We may even get some animals as well, just to sort of start building out the farm a little bit further again. So I think I'm going to send this guy left to right on this occasion. So get this unfolded. Alright, Helper J is blocked by what? Let's have a go. And have a look. So it's going to be all this equipment just here, isn't it? Because that burn was so long. So we're probably going to have to reconsider. Probably going to have to reconsider how we configure these guys. If we can get back to... yeah, there we go. That's what I want to look at. Yeah, so maybe we need to run the fields left to right, like I was, rather than running them up and down the main road, run them left and right of the main road. So then that way they can go this way rather than this way, because it might prevent them from running into things, particularly around this area. I mean, the other option is I just do a headland spray. But I guess we'll see. Let's turn weeds back on. Cool, so this is moving along nicely. So this guy's sorting out the weeds nicely. Look, part of me thinks we just get another 2. Speed this process up even more. Yeah, let's get another 2. Because either way, if I don't use them for weeds, I can use them for fertilizer. Because now that we got precision farming turned off, not that it mattered anyway, because anytime you use a direct drill with seeding and fertilizing at the same time, you get a fertilized state, so you only have to fertilize once when the crop's growing. Which sort of speeds up the gameplay loop a little bit. In precision farming, you only had to fertilise once, which did have its benefits, but you did have to lime to get your pH up, so that lime became a mandatory step. So it's not really reducing the steps overall. It's just changed them slightly, which is fine. It's whatever works for individual playstyles, I guess. I mean, for me, I just want to I guess you just do the steps that you want to do. Like, I like the spraying because I like watching the sprayers do their thing. Some people like plowing, cultivating, mulching. Some people like cultivating, then planting. Because I think if you were to do it the way the game sort of wants you to do it, it would take, there's like 8 steps involved to get a harvest, or get a field ready for sowing, which is pretty crazy. I mean, probably realistic. Well, not realistic, not that I would know, because I'm not a farmer. Okay, let's get this guy going. So this is fertilizing. So there we go. So we've got 100% fertilized there. So we're getting a 98% yield bonus in the base game without precision farming turned on. 100% is the highest you can get, because it treats all the soil as the same, whereas in precision farming you've got different soil types. So I mean, over the average size of a field, it all equals out, but it's just a little bit simpler for what we're doing, so that's why I've turned it off in this case. So what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's get another one. And we'll configure this guy for fertilizer too. And you can change the working width too, but we're just going to keep it at maximum because that's why we've gone this way. You can see the fertilizer is quite expensive. But having the spray width size that we do just gets through these fields so much quicker, which is a huge benefit. Alright, well, we might leave it there for today. I'm going to continue on spraying these fields, getting them ready for the next month, which is going to be April, May, June. So we'll see what we can plant, what we can harvest, and we'll go from there. So once again, thanks for watching AF Farms. You're following the No Man's Land series at the moment. If you like this video, leave a comment. Don't forget to like, the video also. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Really helps out the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.